Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and the subscribe on the lower bottom right corner. That's where you can hit the likes, and then if you could subscribe, that would be great. Thank you to my followers as we've built a channel here over 2 years. We built it upon integrity and tend to stick to making it an issue of for the belief factor. I try to avoid Rumorville. We will have periodically things that we have to address, even though they're on that form, but we try to avoid rumors for the most part. Please tell your friends and family about the channel, share the video, share it with others. That would be great. I'd muchly appreciate it. And if you come across the channel, please hit the likes and subscribe. Don't leave without doing it. I muchly appreciate your support at growing the channel as we've, as I say, built an integral Habs channel here. All right, we're going to get into it now. This is Go Habs Go. It's March 4th today, the morning after the Sabres came in for the back-to-back with the Habs, part two and the final, and the Habs have swept the Sabres this season. And this was a close game, though. We almost blew this. They actually outplayed us for 2 periods. We were fortunate to hold on to come back and win this thing. We started off awesome in the first period, but we kind of sat back, foot off the gas in the second and third. And that's concerning to me. All right, so final score. Habs come through 4-3 in overtime. Huge victory, 5 straight. First time for the Habs in quite some time. 5 straight victories. Awesome. Go Habs, go. All right, first period, 3-0 Habs. And we had a phenomenal first period. Things were looking like we had this wrapped up. But then the Habs come out in the second period flat. Sabres took this, were taking it to the Habs. 1-0 they came out with. Then they managed to tie it. The same thing in the third period. They were taking it to the Habs. They tied this thing up. They got 2 goals in the third, 0 for the Habs. We got into overtime. Unfortunately, we got an overtime goal from Mike Matheson, assisted by Slavkovsky. Great goal, great shot on a 2-on-1. And we get the victory. Thank goodness, because this was really, they did outplay us for a couple periods. So Montembeault gets the win. Reimer lost. Matheson gets a game-winning goal. Good to see him on the sheet that way, getting a goal for it hasn't been as often this season. Mike Matheson scored at 1:21 into overtime, lifting the surging Montreal Canadiens to a 4-3 victory over the Buffalo Sabres on Monday night. Nick Suzuki had a goal and 3 assists. What a game. He's just been performing so well of late. And that's great because that's what you want to do is leadership with actions, showing by actions. Who, despite blowing a 3-0 lead, they rallied back for their 5th consecutive victory. Cole Caulfield with his team leading 30th goal. First time he's gotten 30. That's nice to see. On the right trajectory to 40 if possible of the season. And Juraj Slavkovsky scored one, which shows you throw it at the net, and he did. And it took a weird bounce off the defenseman and in. Sam Montembeault stopped 33 shots, and the Canadiens beat the Sabres. So, first star, no doubt, was Nick Suzuki. Goal and 3 assists, -1. Hard to believe that he still had a -1 in that game. Mike Matheson had a stronger game in this one. 1 goal, 1 assist. Nice to see him at an even keel. Peterka was the third star. 2 assists and a +1. So we'll start scoring summary. 9:42. Cole Caulfield gets a goal assisted by Nick Suzuki. Beautiful play on the power play in that the wheelhouse of, and assisted by, the whole play started up with Lane Hudson to Suzuki, and Caulfield gets the great goal in his sweet spot where normally it's Lonnie in that position. So good to see Caulfield's done that a couple times now. We've seen this a couple times in a row. Good to see they're throwing because teams are covering Lonnie so much. So that was at 9:42. That gave us 1-0. 11:41. Nick Suzuki gets one, assisted by Matheson, shorthanded. 2-1-1. Beautiful play and great goal by Nick. And then at 13:42, like I said, ERI just chucks it at the net, goes off a defenseman, assisted by Nick Suzuki and Lane Hudson on the power play. So the power play was really effective last night. Second period, Alex Tuck, who else, right? Who would get it started for the Sabres? He's just got that. He always does so well against the Habs, assisted by Cozens and Dennis Gilbert. Third period comes. Tage Thompson at 3:24 in the third. What a missile. That was like 98. I believe this was a shot that I don't think Sam Montembeau even saw it, but he made the mistake of going down. He wasn't properly positioned for that shot. That was just bad positioning. However, it was a missile anyway. Sent by Paterka and Jacob Bryson. Then we, at 18:59, who else? This Dolan had a very physical game and was showing signs. He had just come back from a penalty and comes back, scores, assisted by Paterka and Kulik. And then, thank goodness for us, Mike Matheson, which I don't agree with this whatsoever. This shows you the dumb statistical guys. This was clearly a pass from Yari Slavkovsky, and they got this down as Mike Matheson unassisted. If you're going to do stats, do them appropriately. And I've been calling this out all season with just the way they pick their 3 stars, just different things. And, so line one was fabulous. But anyway, that Mike Matheson was not unassisted. Yari Slavkovsky threw that up to him, and he went in on the 2-on-1 and shot it in using the decoy. And great shot by Mike. But the analytics, that's what I say to people. Don't focus on analytics too hard because they're not always done correctly. And this is a clear point of that. I get a kick out of it sometimes. It's just pathetic that you were seeing this in a professional hockey league, that these guys who are paid to do the analytics can't even get it straight. Ridiculous. Anyway, sorry for my venting. But anyway, the shots on goal were 36-20. They really were pouring it onto the Habs. 36-20 for the Sabres. Hits 37-20 for the Sabres. Faceoffs 37-25 for Montreal. Power play, that's where we did quite well. 2 for 5. 0 for 4 for the Sabres. Penalty kill has been great for the Habs. Penalty minutes 12-10 for the Sabres. Giveaways 14-12 for the Habs. Takeaways 5-4 for the Habs. Block shots, which I like seeing this, 24-10 for the Habs. In the very penalty summer, briefly, Cousins at 159 or 157, sorry, roughing. Byram 8:22, 2 minutes for slashing. Dvorak 10:03, 2 minutes for roughing. Carrier 10:03, 2 minutes for roughing. 10:03, 2 minutes for roughing. Dolan 12:37, 2 minutes for interference. Dolan was having a rough night in the penalty box, and it was not good for them in that regard. 14:24, Paterka 2 minutes for tripping, and that goes into the second. Alex Newhook 2 minutes at 4:10 for interference. Jaden Struble 2 minutes for interference. Third period, Alex Newhook again, 9:38, 2 minutes for tripping. Dolan 14:42, 2 minutes for interference. And that's your stats. And I normally don't go into that section with the penalties, but we went there. I was kind of disappointed, to tell you the truth, in a couple regards. I honestly thought, now, mind you, I was so busy that I missed a portion of the first. But from what the write up said, and I didn't see this, so I'm assuming, then again, hard to assume with reporters, but there was a report done, I think it was the Gazette or some something like that I read this morning, that Jack, I did challenge Greenway to respond to the prior game incident with Greenway taking that cross check to Dobish. Uh, so it sounded from the write up. It said that Greenway did not take the fight. So hard to do anything about it. But I just, my opinion, you should have forced it. I just think you just should have been pound. I didn't see enough um, response from the Habs to respond to that nonsense, because there was a lot of hits on Dobish, a lot of run-ins. Now, although I did like seeing um, a couple of Habs run Reimer, and I'm sorry, you want to go after our goalie? Here's our response. So I did appreciate that. First period, great period from what I could see from the Habs when I got back from an appointment I had. So I missed part of the first, like I said, the first half of it. But from what I could see, they were playing quite well in the first. And then it's like, here we go. And this is something we're going to have to really watch, because I'm going to tell you, this is the type of thing that concerns me. We've got the first line was outstanding last night, played a phenomenal game. Line 4 was strong. Line 3 was all right. Um, Josh looked like he definitely was affected more by whatever injuries nagging him. He just looked like he didn't like he played well. Don't get me wrong, but he looked like something was bothering physically. Um, so that line wasn't as standout as usual. Line 2, I wasn't overly impressed with the play of line 2. It was, yeah, but to me that was the weakest line, and it showed. Um, Again, I just, the amount of penalties, Newhook's got to back off taking the penalties, because I like to see him start working on his forecheck. If you're gonna, great with the speed again, and I'm glad he's scored a couple goals recently, but start being effective on the boards and start doing positive things and not standing around your own end, because that's something I find of late. Thank God, Slav is getting better on. I'd like to see Newhook improve that area now as well and focus on it. Great game. First line. This is awesome. Seeing the all three of the guys on this line score a goal. Great to see. Great to see Matheson get one. He's had such a rough little period here. Struggle, with his some struggles, but we got to remember, and that's one thing fans got to remember. He's usually tied into covering the best units, so that's probably why he gets burnt a lot. Hard duty to cover the top line all the time. Um, so that was it. Great game, but concerns. You can't expect to play one period out of 60 minutes and win. We got lucky last night. Played a great first period, but went to sleep in the next two. They had our number. And if we do that against Buffalo, we got way tougher competition coming. So we better be aware. But congratulations to the Habs for sweeping the season series against the Sabres. That's great. But again, this should be alarming and a wake up call to the Habs. This has been my issue: is you can't take the foot off the gas, and they did. But make no mistake about it, great pass. And again, I would have liked to seen that stats guy actually count the pass from Slav to Matheson as an assist, which it was. Baffling. And I don't, like I said, I'll come to Slav's defense when he's playing well. Um, I'm quick enough to go after him when he's playing like garbage. So he's been playing much better, but I still want to see more out of him. He needs to go watch what Kachuk did last night in Ottawa's game, so he can compare and see what he still can bring more. But they did play well. The three of them played well on line one, so I don't want to go after him too heavily. And I do like the fact that he's been playing much better in his own end in the last couple games, so that's a good improvement. Just got to keep those two hands on the stick, keep the feet moving, and use that body. And he's been getting physical, but he still can amp it up. He still can. We've seen, like I say, that Ottawa game showed how much he could amp it up. So that's good signs. But like I say, Mard, the coaching staff are going to have to be all over the boys in practice because I know they're going on the road. I believe it's to Edmonton next, West Coast swing, road trip. And they're going to have to focus on this. It's starting to flare up a little bit. They're taking the foot off the gas, and it really showed last night because, truthfully, they were lucky to win that game. Um, yeah, just thankfully that they played well enough to hang on by the skins of their teeth, but they were outperformed in 2 periods. And that doesn't sit well with me. Great that we got the overtime victory. But we got to keep this going. It's great. I am so excited to see us win 5 straight. But yeah, it's promising what's going on. I just hope we can keep this momentum going forward. It's looking good. We're going to come back with a short video, either not long after this tape, or just a response of a topic that's come up that was brought up that there's interest, and we know, and I don't like to go down this road, but now it seems like I'm just going to give you my opinion on what I think the Habs should do in this scenario, and that's as simple as that. So stay tuned. Uh, you've seen it here at Center Heist Productions, where the puck drops first. Please hit the likes and subscribe, and stay tuned because you're going to have a follow-up video at some point here today or early morning. I'm assuming I'm going to get it out shortly once this uploads. And we're going to give you a little more talk on where the trade deadline's coming and what we're hearing and what I'm not even going to go about the hearing parts for that much. I'd rather just go with what I really think the Habs should do. All right. Thank you. Until the next time, we'll catch you then. Go Habs, go. God bless.